What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Survivor Series, and
Here we go. And I've seen countless championship matches over the past few years, and this one ranks right up there with some of the
damn,
most anticipated.
this was a damn good show. Now, I was ready to come out here and tell you that, yes, the show was good, but TakeOver completely shit on it. The TakeOver was so much better, but in all honesty, I say TakeOver won by, like, just a little bit. Like, I still say TakeOver was better. This, TakeOver War Games was better than, Survivor Series, but Survivor Series was on its A game. The main roster was on their A game today. I mean, not only was this the best pay-per-view of the year, I mean, I thought, Survivor Series and Evolution were damn good, but Survivor Series was like, but this is also probably my favorite Survivor Series ever that I've ever seen. I mean, I was legit shocked by this. Even JD agrees with saying that this was actually the best pay-per-view of the year. I mean, now I won't say this show was perfect. There were some questionable things that happened in here, but overall the show was fucking phenomenal. So let's start with the pre-show, because I actually did watch the pre-show for this one. We had the mix. We had the tag team Survivor Series match with the tag teams. It was pretty good. It was in all honesty, it was pretty good. The Revival actually looked really good. So a bit fans of the Revival were glad because they were like the last team on Raw that won or that was there. So they were taking out both. They took out the New Day and they did a pretty decent job against the Usos. So I'm sure for fans of the Revival, they're happy that the Revival's finally getting some spotlight after I've heard they've been getting better. I mean, I didn't watch NXT when they were there, so I couldn't know. But I would definitely say the Revival definitely looked good here when they were facing off against the New Day. Anyway. So and I like this one move Chad Gale did where he took Biggie and did like a German suplex while he was on the ground and then just threw him over. I mean that takes a hell of a lot of strength and a hell of a lot of trust in Chad Gale to not break the neck. So that was great. I also like at the end where I forget which Jimmy or Jay when they did like their little frog splash. They cocked their fists. Nice tribute to Roman Reigns because leukemia. I've heard he's actually already begun his treatment for leukemia. So hopefully he can beat this. Anyway. So then the show actually started. We had the women's Survivor Series traditional Survivor Series match. Pretty good. In all honesty, we had some pretty good spots, but Nia Jax, sweet Jesus, the hate this woman got. I mean, she got nuclear heat. I haven't heard boos this loud and this plentiful since like Roman Reigns beat Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. It was that loud. I mean, I was just like, damn, y'all hate her. And I'll give Nia Jax props. Well, I definitely am with you guys. I'm pissed off at Nia for not giving us match, but in the long run, I think this was for the best since now she's going to be in the main event at WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey. And, her getting her ass beat by Ronda Rousey TLC will be very entertaining to watch and very satisfying for because what she did. So hopefully she gets buried there. But I'll give Nia props. She's done a decent job of just taking this in, of just making this her own. With her being like, yeah, she took a decent job of taking heat taking the heat for this. So I'll give her props. She just took the ball. She just took what she had here and just ran with it. I'll give her props for that. She did a great job just going off the crowd, just making them hate her even more. Because every time she was in the ring, every time she was on camera, they were booing her out of the building. So I'll give Nia props. She's done a decent job of just taking this in. I'll give her props. She's done a decent job of taking this. I'm assuming she's probably gonna I'm assuming this is gonna be her character now. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, because she now says she's like the face breaker. I mean, it's not creative, and she made it sweet like, oh, does anyone guess how my fist feels? And she's not funny either. So I don't like Nia, but I'll give her props for that. She's done a great job of just taking this. So I'll give her a trust that she's done a great job. Just ran with the crowd. That she's taking what she did, that she fucked over all this, and she just ran with it. I'll give her props. And I'm curious how this is gonna play out in Total Divas, because yes, in case you're wondering, I do watch Total Divas mostly because why not? WWE, I get to see Daniel Bryan and I get to see Paige, so that's mainly the reason why I keep watching it. So I'm curious when this gets over there, if they're gonna do anything with that. So that should be interesting whenever Total Divas gets there. Anyway. So the match was so fun. Asuka was the last one on Team Snap, but she lost to Nia Jax. Kind of pissed by that, but it makes sense in terms of storyline for what's going on. So, I mean, but why had to be Asuka? I will give this match props. We did get a great I guess back and forth between Asuka and Sasha. They did They were a great match. I love that little stare off they had as they made their ways into the ring. Those two, they just had a great time. I mean, just watch great match or great, back and forth. It just proves that they're really being underused by the main roster. And I'll agree with you guys there. They have not been using Sasha Banks or Asuka to much use at all. They have been pretty much just been kept on the sidelines for Nia Jax and Carmella and Alexa Bliss, those bitches. So I'm glad that they got their time in the spot. They just proved that these two would kill it if they were given a title feud. Just give these two a title to fight over, and they'll give you 5-star matches. So they were great there. Nia for some reason pushed Sasha off the top rope, and she put her in and Asuka put her in the Asuka lock, and she tapped out, and then Nia Jax came in there and won the match. So yeah, kind of pissed off by that, but it makes sense in terms of storylines. And hopefully if she just gets buried at TLC by Ronda Rousey, all will be forgiven. And the mystery opponent for Team SmackDown was Mandy Rose. They didn't take this and let's put Nikki Cross in there, or hey, let's put Shayna Baszler in there. No, they're no, let's just put Mandy Rose. Least creative option they could have picked, but fine, whatever. We then had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. Oh my god, this match was fucking awesome. They stole the show. I mean, I would say there's probably a couple matches I did like a little bit more, but these guys just progressed. Oh my god, and these two are some of the best in-ring chemistry I've ever had. Their personalities are just constantly bouncing off of each other. The crowd wasn't doing them much favors. I mean, they were saying this is boring around the beginning of it. Don't know why. Let those two take their time, but. Oh my god, those guys just kicked in the higher. I loved it when Seth was imitating Shinsuke, and Shinsuke was doing his thing. Surprisingly, no Dean Ambrose or any low blows from Shinsuke, so that was very surprising because I would have expected Dean to show up and wreck shit up, or Shinsuke going in there for a low blow because we know Shinsuke loves going for those since his heel turn. But the match up fucking awesome, great spots. Seth ended up winning, and okay, one thing I was definitely that kind of pissed off is that SmackDown got clean swept. Why? This better be playing off in some storyline on either Raw or SmackDown, because I get it, Raw is the A show, but let's be honest, SmackDown is so much better than Raw. But whatever, I was kind of pissed off by that. They put on a great match, so that was definitely fucking phenomenal. We then actually had the AOP versus the Bar. I won't lie, when it was airing live, I wasn't watching this match. I missed this match because. And I honestly didn't really care about it because I was actually playing catch up while I was reacting to it. When I was doing my reaction for Survivor Series, I was working on this essay for my class, but thankfully I finally finished. So that took up a decent amount of time while Survivor Series was going on. So I went back and rewatched those matches or watched them. So I ended up missing the match between the Bar and the AOP. I was just gonna skip it because I didn't really care about it. Everywhere I heard it wasn't that great of a match, but I went back and watched it because I heard the spot was funny. So apparently, okay. So Enzo Amore ended up invading Survivor Series, where he was in the second row doing his little catchphrase, and you can't teach that. He ended up getting just dragged out by security, and he was trying to kick out of Staples Center. And Maverick, the little manager of the AOP, the man pissed himself. So that was funny. The stuff with Enzo was kind of funny. You couldn't really see much of it actually on the actual show itself. You could see little bits and pieces of it, but you couldn't really get a good look at it. My Manuel actually showed me this clip on DM me this clip on Instagram where you actually get to see it all in its full glory. You see Enzo just getting dragged off by it, and people were saying, "We want Enzo," and so that was interesting. Match that was fine. Then we had the Cruiserweight match. I honestly didn't watch this match. I heard it was great, but I didn't watch it. Don't really care about the Cruiserweights, so I heard it was great. So good for them and all that. So we'll just skip that one. Next, we had Ronda, and then we had the men's Survivor Series match. Overall, it was pretty good. Raw won. So like I said, they clean swept SmackDown for some damn reason. And for some reason, the match of the pre-show doesn't count for SmackDown. But whatever. And Samoa Joe was the first guy eliminated just like that by Drew. I remember Hatsie's apparently injured, so if he's gonna get eliminated first, fine. I'll let it be, Drew McIntyre over someone like Bobby Trashley. So I'll take that, but come on, Joe should have lasted longer than that. And Shane, oh my gosh, Shane, Sweet Jesus. After that man did that little elbow drop on against the announce table, that man looked like an elderly old man as he makes his way over to the top row to do the coast to coast. I swear, Miz was practically dragging him there, helping him get up on top. And there was this one part where he was getting chased by where Miz was getting chased by Braun Strowman, and then literally he just ran over Seth. He ran over Shane while he was trying to catch the Miz. I'll give Shane props. That man can still take some bombs, but by the second coast to coast, that man looked like an elderly old man that he was barely standing. And I love, like, at the end, he was just, when he realized he was the last guy on SmackDown Live, he was just like, come at me. And then Braun pinned him, 1, 2, 3, and so, yeah. We then had the women's match between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, which we know Becky was injured by Nia Jax, so it was switched with Charlotte. Oh my god, this match was fucking awesome. I love this match. Charlotte and Ronda, I'll definitely say this is Ronda's best match of the year, and Charlotte, this is definitely one of Charlotte's best matches. Would I say it's better than Becky and Charlotte's last man standing match, or last women standing match at Evolution? A part of me wants to say yes because of the heel turn, but a part of me wants to say I like Evolution more a little bit, but I think I'd probably say I like this one a little bit more than Evolution just because of Charlotte's heel turn. So the match itself was great. Ronda was actually bleeding a little bit because Charlotte gave her elbowed her her jaw. I don't know, like a tooth fell out or something, but she ended up bleeding. Nice little storytelling, Becky was bleeding, now you're bleeding, so that was pretty cool. The match, like I said, the match itself fucking phenomenal. Now let's talk about the best part, the heel turn. Oh my god. So, at the end of the match, Charlotte's just kind of laying outside the ring. The ref is counting. She makes her way around the 8 count. Gets in the ring, but then goes right back out to reset the count. Ronda's like, fuck this. Gets outside the ring. Comes charging towards Charlotte. And then Charlotte hits her with the kendo. And then beats the ever-living shit out of her with that kendo. So she broke the kendo. Went and grabbed another one. And was kept going and going and going. I mean, it was fun. The crowd went wild. They were cheering. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte. Ronda was getting booed. And it was crazy. I mean, Charlotte looked like a rabid animal. And I think what they were doing here was, I think this is probably what they were going to originally have with a Becky match, because you could practically envision just Becky beating Ronda with those kendo sticks. You could practically just see Becky doing it, which I bet that was what they were originally planning, but since she was injured, Shaw just did it instead. And the look on Charlotte's face, oh my god, she looked like a rabid animal. Then she grabbed a steel chair, and then put it right against her chest, caved her chest in, and then, oh man, that was just overall just insanity. Like I said, people were saying, thank you, Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte. So Charlotte's now turning heel, so that should be entertaining to see on SmackDown Live this week. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where that goes with Charlotte's heel turn. So match itself fucking phenomenal. Definitely was one of the best match on the cards. Without it, one of my favorite matches this year between Charlotte and Ronda. Then we had the main event: D. Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Now, fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, actually at SummerSlam 2014, that massive squash match between D. Bryan, between John and Brock, that was supposed to be D. Bryan in there, but since he was injured, John took his place. And I gotta say, I love D. Bryan's heel turn. Did you guys notice what he was wearing? I love the little subtle storytelling they did here with this outfit. Because, he wasn't coming out as typical Seahawks colors that usually came out in, or went back to the black and red white outfit that usually went to wear at WrestleMania. He was wearing predominantly black, with little bits of red. Somebody's been watching NXT! I know it's there was you could make the comparison with Johnny Gargano. Whether D. Bryan did this on purpose, it's he took cues from Johnny Gargano with his heel turn, and D. Bryan just took those, or this was just completely coincidence. Whatever the case may be, I love it. And actually, he did the yes movement for a little bit, but then he stopped. And then when he made his way through, he started crawling around like an 8 for some reason. I don't know what that was about. But he made his way to the ring. But he was crouching a lot throughout this match. Around the early part, he was crouching a lot. So, and then, Brock came out, Brock was Brock. And then the match started, and they were pretty much, and D. Bryan was just taking his time with it. Going out of the ring, circling it around a few times, just trying to get Brock off his game. You could tell Brock was getting a little frustrated, because as soon as Brock got his hands on D. Bryan, German suplex, which I was legit kind of concerned here with this first German suplex, because D wasn't moving and I was like, oh shit, did he land on his neck or something? It seems like D. Bryan's fine, but that was like the only time where I was kind of concerned. And you could definitely tell, Brock wasn't going crazy like he used to those Germans, especially after you saw him against the Singh brothers on Raw, probably because he knew about D. Bryan's injury, so he's probably didn't, put everything he usually does in those. So D. Bryan, and then it pretty much just became a squash match at that point, and I was just sitting there, you'll see this in my red, I was just kind of disappointed, I'm like, really? Come on, you're just doing this again. But I love the little, I don't know if WWE did this on purpose, but I noticed a lot of parallels to the John Cena match, from having similar commentary from Michael Cole, saying I've covered Brock's career, but I've never seen it like this, D. Bryan just kind of, just wheezing, the subtleties and comparisons, they were parallels you could make with the match between John and SummerSlam. Whether that was on purpose or not, I'm not sure, but I did kind of like that. So I don't know if it's just me or that was actually WWE's plan. But then when he's about to go, when D. Bryan's just kind of laying on the floor, D. Bryan kicks him, and kicks him again, and then he goes for an F5, and then he hits him with an F5, but then he hits the ref, and D. Bryan goes in for the low blow, hits him with the knee, and I legit thought D. Bryan was actually gonna win here. It was like 1, 2, and they kicked him. Then D. Bryan was just on the offensive. Everybody was cheering. I was like, yes, let's go, D. You'll see this in my reaction when they drop. I just lost at this point because I was like, come on, Daniel, let's do this. And I mean, we all know Dean's heel, D. Bryan's heel, but we were all cheering him like it was 2014 or something, like when he was going against Brock. So he got a ton of offense, and Brock got a couple hits in there, and then he got him in the yes like a night, and like the rest of you, I legit thought he was gonna tap out. I was like, wait, is he gonna do it? He's gonna do it? But no. The match. This was now Brock's best match this year. Would I say this is better than the AJ Styles match last year? I would have to rewatch that match to know which, but this match came dangerously close to topping Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black at TakeOver War Games as my favorite match here. If D. Bryan won, I think I would have given it the edge over Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. But that could just be my bias, because I could just carry my bias towards Daniel Bryan talking there. But D. Bryan unfortunately did lose to Brock. I mean, I would say this, even though this match had pretty much no build, nobody was expecting, because D. Bryan wasn't built up like he was before. I'd say this match probably did a good job just building D. Bryan back up to the Yes Movement, underdog we remember him back in 2014. Because if anyone takes a beating like that from Brock Lesnar and he leaves the Beast limping, I'd say that's a good job building D. Bryan back up to where he was back in 2014. That could just be me, but I think this match took two birds, one stone. Gave us a great match between Brock and D. Bryan, and built D. Bryan back up. At least it did for me. So that match was definitely the best match of the card. And I wish D. Bryan won, but it makes sense. Brock has to win because USC, and he can't lose because God forbid he loses to Daniel Bryan. But whatever. The match itself, fucking. You can actually tell that Brock kind of respects D. Bryan now because he was smirking at D. Bryan when he was leaving. Yeah. So match itself was great. There was just the crowd. I was just losing. The crowd was losing. It was fucking phenomenal. This whole show was just amazing. Definitely the best Survivor. Definitely the best pay-per-view, and without all the best Survivor series I have seen. Great matches from between Shinsuke and Seth. The Charlotte versus Ronda was fucking phenomenal, especially with that heel turn. And D. Bryan versus Brooklyn was just really rewatching this whole pay-per-view just reminded me on why I love wrestling so much. Especially with that match between D. Bryan and Brock Lesnar. Oh my god, that match was so damn good. I can go back and rewatch it anytime. I mean, I loved it. So yeah, and also guys, don't expect me doing reviews for WWE pay-per-views all the time. I only did Crown Jewel because it was just so bad. I did Survive. I did Takeover because it was my first Takeover, so I thought I might as well do it. And Survivor Series because it's Survivor Series. So I think from now on, I think I'll just do the big four. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, and probably do all the Takeovers future on. And I'll probably also do Wrestle Kingdom this year because it'll be my first Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah. I'll probably do pay-per-view reviews for anything other than those if it's like just so bad like Crown Jewel, or it just ends up being like, oh my god, this was fucking awesome. But yeah. So overall, I give this pay-per-view, of course, a 10 out of 10. I mean, the matches were some of the best of the year, and Vince definitely can still put on a great show in that senile brain of his. But yeah. So, 10 out of 10, final verdict. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like. At least in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. You guys will excuse me. I'm going to go watch Monday Night Raw because it's about to start in like 6 minutes.